Hey, what's up, my keto challengers? It's Coach R coming to you on day 2 of our 10-day keto challenge. What's up? 2 days under our belts. You know, I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing your food pictures and what you guys ate today because I'm a foodie and I kind of like that. And I also love hearing about your non-scale wins that you're already feeling. I know a couple of you have told me you just aren't that hungry, or that you wake up and you feel energized and that you could sustain a couple hours before you have your drink. Those are amazing. Non-scale wins are benefits that we see as we transition into the ketogenic diet that isn't necessarily a scale shift on our bathroom scale. So it's not necessarily a weight shift yet, but it is a positive benefit to transitioning into the ketogenic lifestyle. So keep sending me those. I love hearing them. And also, if you have any questions, have any concerns, or things aren't really working for you, please let me know so we can make any sort of adjustments. This journey is yours, okay? Your journey is going to be different from someone else's journey. So let me help you make any sort of modifications that will work with your lifestyle, your work schedule, your dietary preferences. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? That's what I'm here for. That's going to make sure that you come out of this with a successful journey that you can take on and move and continue even past the 10-day challenge, okay? So day 2, it's coming to a close. Our tip for the day today is to hydrate and hydrate and hydrate. Drink like a fish, hydrate, okay? So about 76% of Americans are actually chronically dehydrated. Okay, so we as a culture do not get enough water into our diet, and that is key. It's key from a metabolic perspective in order to keep us on top of our game. And as we transition from a standard American diet to a ketogenic diet or even a low carb diet, that level of hydration and maintaining that level of hydration is key. And here's what happens with us as we transition. Okay, for every 1 gram of glucose or glycogen that you have in your body, either glycogen that's stored in our muscles, our skeletal muscles, or in our liver, or glucose that is free floating in our blood after a carbohydrate-rich meal, for example. For every gram of glucose you have 4 grams of water. Your body stores water in anticipation of utilizing the water to break down glucose to be converted as energy in the mitochondria of our cells, okay? The cool thing is that once we start reducing our carbohydrate intake, our body will start uncoupling our body fat to then burn as energy in the process of ketosis. Okay, it will release ketone bodies into our system. There's 3 main ketone bodies. There's beta hydroxybutyrate, there's acetoacetate, and there's acetone, okay? So there's 3 main ketone bodies that our liver produces when it breaks down fat for energy. Beta hydroxybutyrate is the most common and is the most abundant form of ketones in our body, and that is exactly the bioidentical ketone body that is in those Prove-It packs. Okay, so when our body breaks down fat for energy, it actually bypasses several of the steps in the Krebs cycle, and it does not need water or that much water to break it down and convert it into ATP energy that our cells and our bodies can use. Kind of cool. So what happens is that then we, as we reduce our carbohydrate intake, our body actually gets rid of the stored water, hence water weight, that our bodies were actually keeping in anticipation of converting that glucose into energy. Because it's if we cut the glucose, then our body then switches and turns over to fats for energy, and we just don't utilize that water anymore. So what happens to all that water? We will start excreting the water. You'll probably go to the bathroom more, okay? If you're working out, you'll probably notice that you're going to be sweating a little bit more. The great thing too is that ketones are water soluble. So when you have your ketone drinks, or when your body is in ketosis and it is burning fat for fuel, what it doesn't use, what ketone bodies the body does not use, is actually excreted in our urine. It's water soluble. So you're not going to have free floating ketones in your body. What doesn't get used gets excreted in our urine, or in through our sweat. Okay, so just keep an eye out on that. And know that this is a natural state, a natural metabolic transition that's happening in your body. So another thing that's happening as we are transitioning into a ketogenic lifestyle is that ketones are really great at drawing out toxins and impurities in our bodies. And what happens is that it utilizes water then to flush it out of our system. So a lot of the toxins that we have, environmental toxins, like any sort of pesticides or herbicide residues that we accidentally ingest, or things along those lines in our food, is actually fat soluble. So they get stored in our body fat. So when we are on a ketogenic diet and we are burning fat for fuel, those chemicals and toxins are released into our bodies, and our bodies utilize water to flush it out of our system. So it's a really great reason, and it's a really great mechanism in our body to really cleanse out our system. So what we want to do is we want to support that metabolic process, and we want to make sure that we hydrate. And what is the proper amount of water? It's a really easy equation. All you would have to do is you would have to take your weight in pounds, divide it in half, and drink that many ounces of water a day. Okay, so if you are 150 pounds, for example, you would want to consume about 75 ounces of water a day. And no, your coffee and teas and your ketone drinks do not count as your water serving of the day. We want to make sure that we are supporting that metabolic process as we transition, because what ends up happening is, even if you have a slight decrease in hydration, even a 2% decrease in hydration, causes headaches or lightheadedness or feeling a little bit slow or listless. If you've heard of the keto flu, it's not actually a flu, it's not a virus or anything along those lines. The keto flu really is dehydration. And with dehydration also comes electrolytes, that we lose trace minerals as our body is expelling water to either flush out toxins, or because we just don't need it from a conversion perspective, from a ATP conversion perspective. So with our water, we also flush out electrolytes. I'm going to talk about electrolytes tomorrow, but really that keto flu is that dehydration that happens. So if you are experiencing any sort of headaches or lightheadedness, or you're feeling a little kind of sluggish, make sure you're drinking enough water. And tomorrow I'll tell you more about electrolytes and why those are important as well. It kind of goes hand in hand with our water. So for now, for today, for the rest of the challenge, I want you to make sure that you make it your goal to have enough water during the day to support your metabolic transition. All right, so that's it. That's day 2. If there are any other questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to share some resources as well. Have a great rest of your evening, day 2, and I look forward to talking with you and checking in with you on day 3. Good night, everyone.